Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. My friend Rust used to come in and do shows with me all the time, but since COVID, our lives have changed a bit. It's not like we're any less friends, and it's not like Rust isn't out there enjoying his muskie fishing like no one I know. It's almost a religion to him, the muskie fishing. It's that powerful in his life. But let me tell you about my muskie stories. You know, when I was younger, when I was in the Navy, and my military experience was a good one. It formed a certain part of me that wouldn't have been formed if I hadn't been in the military. A part of me that wants to lead others, to go into new waters, to do these different things that I might not have been able to do if I hadn't experienced the discipline, the teamwork, the dedication, you almost give your life to something so much bigger. But the whole time I was in the service, I also was thinking about coming back to St. Lawrence County, coming back to the Deer River, which flows into the St. Regis River, which was something that I really didn't want to leave when I enlisted. I wanted to stay on that Deer River. So, you know, when I talk about muskie fishing, it's changed for me through the years. When I was younger, I had muskie fever, just like my buddy Rust. The bigger, the bolder, the most vicious the muskie was, the better the experience would be. That isn't the way for me now. They're out there in the river with me when I wade, and I'm not pursuing them. First of all, they're so big, and I'm out there with hardly anything but my ultralight rod and a few lures because I'm wading waist deep in the water. The last thing that I really am prepared to do is to try to battle that muskie, bring him into me, and then release him safely for both him and me. You know, that we're both involved then. So, but I enjoy seeing muskies dominate their world that they live in, and that's what they do. And so when I'm going fishing right now, I'm fishing for bass, for walleyes, for chubs. No, I'm not going after chubs, but I catch a bunch of them. They're always 10 inches or bigger, and they're fun. They strike just like another fish. They give me a lot of rewards. But to all of a sudden see these monster muskies explode in front of me, to know that they're swimming within feet of me, and I'm not aware of it till they make themselves known. And how do they usually make themselves known? I have a bass on the end of my line that's frantically trying to get away from me, that's jumping out of the water, and all of a sudden, a far more dangerous foe comes into the picture. A mighty muskie sees that bass and comes, and at a speed that you wouldn't imagine how fast they can move, they engulf the bass. And now I'm no longer fighting a bass. I'm fighting this behemoth that has struck the bass, that is holding tight to its prey, that doesn't care that I'm on the other end of the line. I'm nothing. It doesn't open its mouth. It keeps the bass inside as its massive teeth grind into the flesh of the bass. And all I can do is hang on and wonder what's going to happen next. This happened to me just 3 days ago. I had caught several bass, and I had a bass coming in, and out of nowhere, this was a big one, this big muskie comes and takes it, and it heads downstream. And I know I don't have it hooked. My little hook that's inside the bass's mouth isn't possibly in the muskie, and yet he will not relent. He keeps going and fighting, and finally I start bringing it back in, and just as I get it within probably 10 feet of me, one of its teeth happens to make contact with my line, and now the battle is over. All I have is a memory of this massive fish swimming away with its prey. You know, that's part of what my fishing is like when I go wading. And that's only a small part of it, but it becomes it becomes a highlight, and it becomes a memory, and it becomes something I can share with you. And if you try to do what I do, and all it takes is your willingness to go out there and fish the rivers, you might actually encounter the same type of thing that I do. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.